Okay, blessed day to each and everyone. Our topic is all about action research defined and implementation of action research. So let us have first the action research definition. So it says here that teachers often face challenges. So what are those particular challenges? We have classroom and schools. So challenges in the classroom and challenges in the school, and definitely these are actually needed to be addressed right away. Okay, or else teaching learning process will become ineffective. But remember, problems can be and issues can be resolved through action research. Okay, so according to the Department of Education, action research is a process wherein we have systematic, reflective inquiry. So these are actually where aims is to provide improvement, no? To provide improved educational practice. Other than that, it also helps to reduce problems in the classroom or in the school. It is stipulated in the Depth Order number 16 series of 2017. So pag gusto po natin magkaroon po tayo ng deeper meaning regarding the action research, no, we can go back to the Depth Order number 16 series of 2017. So this process, no, of action research would also cover solution para sa classroom, solution para sa school problems. So nakikita niyo po na very consistent doon at doon pa rin siya nakapokus sa classroom and school problems. So this should be built with methodical, logical, and organized activities. Okay? So tignan lang po natin yung understanding of review of literature. So, understanding review of literature, it guides in the formulation of the research question. Okay, so, and this would be also assist the action researchers. So how? Because in terms of the decision making, particularly on identifying which would be the most suitable research design, our review of related literature would be a great help, no? Malaking tulong po ito. Other than that, the decision of the number of participants, no? So, malaking tulong po ito. Great help po siya para sa ating mga researchers and para ma-assist po tayo, no? Sa research, no? And participants. So, number of participants would be like to consider. Ito yung sinasabi natin na respondents. Definitely, it will no longer make use of the word or the term respondents. So, ang gagamitin na po natin ay yung participants. So, it also provides direction and collection of data. So, collection of data, ito po yung sampling. How are we going to select our participants for the study? It would also provide insight, so yung most appropriate statistical analysis. And the last would be the guides and the citations. So citation, reference, the source, information were used in your research. No? Ito yung gagamit tayo ng APA, American Psychological Association. So sabi nga dito, no, dapat daw simplihan lang natin kasi hindi tayo dissertation, hindi tayo thesis, no? So, ang hahanapin natin ay yung we go only for the findings that would support the result of our study. Next is the importance of action research for educational stakeholders. So, ano ba yung mga importance of action research for educational stakeholders? Ano ba yung mga benefits, no? So, tingnan po natin, alamin po natin yung mga benefits. First is the students, for the students, so better school performance. So, students definitely, ang importance ito ay yung would be better school performance. And then, identification of factors that contribute to student problems. Then, application of intervention that had been proven to be effective. So, magkaroon lang tayo ng konting modification, no? Yung a little twist with it, no? Based on the needs and based on the context. So next is the exploration of teaching technique and learning materials appropriately designed for learners with special needs. Kasi alam naman natin ngayon, di ba, kahit na pandemic, kinikater pa rin natin yung mga bata may special, yung mga bata natin na special learners, no? Hindi lang yung mga regular students, but of course, even the students with special needs. Then last, yung instructional innovation. So definitely, pag sinabi natin innovations, this would always include technology kasi yun talaga yung trend ngayon. Diba? Next is importance of action research for educational stakeholders, for teachers. No? So yung promotion of the culture of research. So ang tanong, meron ba talaga tayong culture of research? Okay? So one particular importance would be empowered. Yan, empowered. So teachers, are we empowered for what reason? So teachers are empowered for what reason? Kasi nakakapag-solve tayo ng problems at yung problem na yun ay emanating, no, from the classroom and schools. So we have better appreciation for what reason? Kasi nga nakakapag-solve tayo ng problems. And better appreciation kasi nakapokus tayo, no, sa improved teaching and learning. So sabi natin, improvement, we must be open always for improvement at dapat meron tayong room for improvement. As long as sabi nga nila na nasa surface tayo, dapat meron tayong always room for improvement because nothing was fixed in stone. Itong improvement, no, itong improved teaching and learning definitely would be under the crucial changes. So kung meron talagang needs, dapat kailangan na-address natin yun, no? Na-address natin siya. So crucial yung needs for the improvement of teaching and learning because definitely one of our KPI, no? Yung KPI natin, the key performance indicator, would be coming from the teaching and learning process. We also get to use the effectiveness of the strategies, classroom management. So ito yung performance of the students, no, na definitely na laging reflection of what kind of teachers we are. Okay? So next we have the benefits, no? The importance of educational stakeholders for our educational leaders, no? Improvement in access, quality, and governance. So in DepEd Order number 43, series of 2015. So pag titignan nyo, this is already the second DepEd order na na-mention. Nakikita ninyo kung gaano yung grounds niya at yung legal basis. And then nakalagay dito yung information, instructional innovation, kasi trend talaga yan. Because this innovation, particularly instructional innovations, will provide insight for the improvement, no, improvement of teaching personnel as well as educational practices. So doon naman po tayo sa revised guidelines, no, for the Basic Education Research Fund or the VERF. Ito yung result, no, of classroom research will be the basis for the reforms and policy development. Yan. Okay, next we have, so we may now go to the implementation of AR. Okay, so in implementation of AR, we have guiding principles. We have continuity, progression, and participation. Okay, so ito po yung mga susundan natin, no? So we have guiding principle, continuity, progression, participation. Definitely this would be focusing on the continuity, no? Continuity. So lahat ng mga governance level, kasama po hanggang non-teaching, actually are expected talaga na kahit expected talaga na lahat talaga tayo sa Department of Education should be doing action research kahit na kahit na non-teaching, no? Non-teaching po, mas lalo na po syempre para sa atin as a teacher. Ito yung guiding principles na to will definitely show the path, no? Para kanino? Para sa mga researchers, para sa delivery of research, instruction. So let us move to the highlight, no? highlight actually yung how are we going to operate, no? So ito yung operationalizing AR framework. We have here actually 5 steps, no? So number 1, so the first one is assess the situation. So another term to assess the situation is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance, so ito po yung preliminary surveying. So kung kapag tayo nagsasurvey, definitely ano yung ginagawa natin? We need to gather information, pwede tayong gumamit ng survey, anecdotal record, interviewer, no, interview questions, questionnaire, checklist, survey form, observation tools. So yan po yung mga ginagamit natin, no? And then let us identify, no? Identify the improvement opportunities, the teaching learning process. Kasi sabi nga nila baka puro na lang daw teaching tapos wala nang learning process, no? Okay, so kailangan nating i-examine, no? Yung teaching learning, kailangan nating i-assess natin yung situation. But how are we going to assess? Siyempre, kailangan nating examine yung school environment. And other than that, yung academic programs, we have freedom to choose, no? Academic programs, instructional practices, and learners. So we have freedom to choose. Pwede tayong pumili kung anong gusto natin. Pwedeng academic programs or pwedeng instructional practices, no? Just follow your heart, sabi nga nila. Okay, pwedeng curriculum if you would like to focus on the standard competencies. Di ba nung tayo may face-to-face pa, we have least mastered skills competencies right after the quarterly exam. Other than that, we have instructional materials, student outcomes. So we have student outcomes, no? We may focus on the achievements and the disposition. So sa instruction naman, pwedeng teaching strategies or use of technology. Then we have a school climate, referring to the school environment. So pwede, no? Pwedeng ang sa student and teacher moral relationship between the teacher and the students. So ano ba yung dapat na relationship daw ng dalawa? Or pwede din namang relationship between teachers and supervisors? Or maybe teachers and superiors. So pwede po yan. And then the last one, syempre, yung parental involvement. Okay? So sa parental involvement, ito, maybe this would be the last of the specific school environment, no? Attendance and events in the parents, teachers, committees, no? So gaano ba yung involvement ng ating mga parents or yung sinasabi nating mga home learning partners? So we may now move on to ask a question. So sa ask a questions, we need to identify, no, the research problem. So most of the time, dyan talaga tayo nahihirapan. Tayong mga teachers, because alam naman natin na madami ng problem, kailangan pa nating mag-isip ng problem. So, di ba? Kasi definitely kapag mag-identify tayo ng research problem, we need to focus on either a problem or issue. So, sabi nga natin sa classroom, sa school, madami talaga yan. And through action research, dapat talaga na-address yan. So, one particular problem or issue na gusto nating address, kasi naka-set ang limit, no? Kaya dapat, sabi ko nga, dapat alam niyo yung scope, alam niyo kung paano ka gagalaw. Excuse me, kasi nga, nakapokus ka. Other than that, di ba yung rationale for the study? Kasi ito yung magbibigay ng justification for the study, its importance, and why it was needed, no? Bakit siya kailangan? So, doon lang talaga natin sinasabi na tawag dito, we all know, no, na ang rationale for the study is a part of the background sa intro. So, yung justification for the study, it's very important, no? Bakit siya kailangan, why it was needed. So, yan po yung ano, no, sa problem or issues na pipiliin natin. Next is the importance of the study. Sino ba yung magbe-benefit? So ito ba yung mga students? Okay, students ba, yung teacher, yung parents, school, yung admin, and yung community ba? So we move now to the act to seek answer. Definitely, magpo-focus tayo sa design ng AR, no? Okay, so ano-ano yung sinasabi sa research design? Ito yung research design, no, will implement the solution or intervention. So halimbawa, mag-start muna tayo. Paano muna ako magko-collect ng data? So kasama po yan sa research design, and other than that, ay yung under pa din ng design ng AR. So kung ito ba experimental or qualitative research. So the experimental research is actually under quantitative research. Ito yung magre-require ng collection of quantitative data. So most of the teachers might use of the experimental research. Sa qualitative naman, definitely these are take disposition ng you would like to focus on the students, classroom development, school climate, pwede rin namang data, ito yung sa qualitative to, no? Pwede rin data, ito yung mag-interview ka or mag-observe ka, open-ended questions. So, it's up to you kung quali or quantitative, no? Nasa atin yun. Tayo yung pipili, no? So, next is we have, we already done with the third steps, no? So, we may now proceed to the fourth steps on how are we going to acquire the information. So, how? Ito yung collection of data from the AR. So yung data collection will be focusing on the three phases. So we have the implementation, or what we call the pre-implementation, the implementation, and then the post-implementation. So remember na yung data collection natin would not be sa start lang or sa middle lang and then tapos na. Okay? So, di ba, hanggang sa matapos ka, no, sa post-implementation of our action research, yun ang data collection. So, we also need to exercise due diligence. Bakit? Para ma-ensure na every student receive the intervention. So, wala kang ine-exempt, no? Ine-exempt, but definitely this will be based, no, kung sino yung selected na learners, selected nyo, halimbawa, you can come up with example, you have 3 sections, handle definitely, medyo tasky yun. So, yung part na medyo mahirap talaga ay yung mag-include, no? Ma-include lahat, nakukunin mo lang, nakukunin mo, no? So, kunin mo lang yung section na okay, yung isang section na okay na yon. So, other than that, include din natin yung selection student, no? To justify, no? Just to justify. So last is we have analyze. Analyze and interpret, no? Analyze and interpret the data. So appropriate statistical treatment, kailangan yon. So we could be able to analyze, kaya nga lahat ng maiisip ng na research question dapat alam natin what particular statistical treatment are we going to use, no? Kasama yun sa pag-analyze natin. So we could be able to interpret the data that we have, that we're able to gather. So qualitative data. Sa qualitative data naman, yung statistical treatment, no, ay ina-apply for the quantitative data. So qualitative naman, data analysis technique naman yung ginagamit. Other than that, we could also present tables and graphs. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng tables and graphs, no? So, pwede naman natin gamitin siya both, no? Pero pag mag-i-interpret tayo, pumili ka lang ng isa. Kasi parehas lang naman yan ng interpretation. Magkaiba lang yung presentation. So, pwede mo naman silang gamitin both, pero yung isa sa appendix na lang. Kasi how are you going to interpret both tables and graphs na meaning ay same data lang, no? So, iba lang yung presentation. So, conclusion row should be answer the research question. So, pag nagtuturo tayo, we have the objective. Kaya kapag nag-action research tayo, yung mga questions naman should be answered, yung conclusions drawn, and should also confirm or the opposite, no? So, should be kailangan mako-confirm mo 'yon, no, sa research hypothesis. So ano ba yung pinakalas natin? So yung pinakalas natin, yung pinakalas step natin is yung analyze and reflect. So, iba talaga yung AR, no? Yung AR kasi naman, ito yung reflection of all the things, no? That we have done, particularly yung process and the result, no? So, dun ka magre-reflect ka doon. So, we are now ready to write an action research. So, ito kasi yung sinasabi natin na higit tayong, ito kasi tayo nagkukulang no? Yung sa documentation. So, ano ba yung patunay mo na yung sa MOBs natin, no? Na talagang nakapagdan ka ng research. Okay? So, with that, yan, pwede na tayong mag-write no, ng action research. So, in operationalizing the action research framework, write the AR report, then disseminate research findings. Of course, we need to share the new knowledge obtained from the study. Kailangan i-share mo yan sa iyong mga colleagues, sa inyong mga co-teachers, sa inyong school, no? Okay? And then other practitioners, okay, para magsilbing guide sa kanila, of course, for policymakers, primary means of sharing the result of the study, executive summary, journal article. Okay, thank you and God bless.